We're on episode 2 and we're already up another $1,000. The stakes are high with the Radon 6. Hello and thank you for clicking on this video where in today's episode, which is part 2 of 3 in the 4Audio IM series, I'll be talking about the limited edition Radon 6/RN6, which is a 6-driver IM configuration coming in at an eye-watering $3,300. I'm just glad to be able to experience another Statos-Fi level IM, but I'm also crying on the inside because it's reminding me how hard I need to keep working if I want to afford this. But it's thanks to Damien for allowing me to be a part of the Australian Head-Fi tour and to 4Audio for providing this unit that I'm able to share these experiences with you. If you've been enjoying my content, please do consider hitting that like and subscribe button so I'm able to afford one of the 4Audio IMs in my dreams. Let's talk about the RN6, and this time it comes with a package. And as you saw earlier in the video, it's already been unboxed because it is sealed really tightly and I don't want to go through it again. Opening the box will reveal the IMs with the cable, and opening the top layer will reveal the leather case, which is similar to the Neon 4. Since this is part of the review tour, I'm not sure what the exact unboxing experiences will be like, so your experiences may vary. It comes with a 4Audio sticker, and inside the case it houses the cleaning tool and some interchangeable ear tips. The cable is like a less stiffer version of the Effect Audio Code 23, which is great because I thought the Code 23 was extremely stiff. So this has similar feel and it's good at retaining its shape without being overly stiff, and is a nice pairing design-wise with the Radon 6. For the design of the Radon 6, the shape is pretty much the same as the Neon 4 and the Xenon 6, but like the Neon 4 is made out of aluminium and it comes with this really nice satin black color scheme, which I prefer a lot more than the fingerprint magnet body of the Neon 4. The faceplate is slightly elevated with the sapphire glass, and you can see the RN6 and 4Audio logo on either faceplates against the black backdrop with gold sparkles, very similar to the Mass Mark II design. Everything else is pretty much the same in terms of having that grille with the exposed dynamic driver, which they're calling it the kinetic based technology. All in all, a very subtle yet sleek look from the Radon 6. It keeps a low profile, but the build quality is solid and sturdy. For fit and comfort, even though it houses the same amount of drivers as the Xenon 6, thanks to its material, it's a touch lighter, but as with the Neon 4, you need the right ear tips for fit security, and once it's all in, it can easily be worn for hours. Similar to the Neon 4, the sound I'm about to describe is on the Silver Atom. Let's explore. For bass, the bass presentation on the RN6 is definitely the tamest when you're comparing it with its other siblings, the Neon 4 and the Xenon 6. It has some punch and slam, there's some meat to the bones, but it's not the fullest sounding bass note, but it has a smooth and clean edge to its attack. However, it's probably not enough to satisfy bass hits, and for something that is promoted to have bass that you can feel through 4Audio's kinetic bass technology, I was probably expecting a little bit more, especially after coming from the NE4. I'm hearing it on the RN6, but I'm definitely not feeling it as much as I hoped, especially for an IM at this price point. I feel it from the NE4 more than I do on the RN6, and the Xenon 6 is the poster child for the kinetic bass technology, but the Radon 6, it's just not there for me. It's like scratching the surface but not quite reaching there. There's some rumble coming in from the deep end to accompany your tracks, and as an overall, it's enough to give your tracks some form of engagement, but it's probably tuned in a way where it's focusing predominantly on other aspects of the frequencies. For mid-range, it sounds clean, but there's a bit of warmth coming through, so it doesn't sound too lean, and it helps with the fullness of vocal notes. Vocal takes center stage and is the highlight of the track, even though it's still an all-in-one type of presentation, but the background music has some distance from the vocals, so it doesn't sound like it's overwhelming the singer in any way. There's a lot of room to breathe, every instrument is present but never taking the spotlight away. When it's time for the instruments to take center stage, they shine. The Radon 6 is definitely the one to pick out of the three if you prefer your vocals, and it gives off an open sounding presentation with precision and clarity, and it's due to how the next frequency is presented as well. For treble, there's a lot of treble highs for everyone, vocal sounds clear and open open. Trumpets have that sharpness in its attack. They sound airy and strong. You've got a bit of bite coming from the treble notes, but it has some sparkle to it as well. Having said all that, I would put a caution for treble sensitive people because this might hurt your ears a little bit. It definitely helps in bringing out the details from the track. However, there isn't enough bass to mask some of the sharpness coming in from the top end. It's great for clarity, or at least the perception of it, but it ultimately depends on what you're looking for. If smooth or laid back presentation is what you're searching for, I'd go with the Neon 4 rather than the Radon 6. For technicalities, playing Get Lucky by Daft Punk featuring Pharrell Williams and Nile Rodgers, the details coming through are clear, sharp, and it was addictive to hear. The bass guitars, then the electric, accompanied by the hi-hats at the intro, all the details are audible, its positioning within the track are distinguishable, and it makes itself known without making the track sound too busy or mashed together. This is where the Radon 6 shines best, bringing you details, yet because of its slight warmth, it doesn't feel overly analytical. The sound envelops your head like a ball, and because of how great the imaging is, it gives you a sense of width and depth within the sound stage, where you can pinpoint the locations of instruments within this sound dimension. It's not smacking you in the face with details, it's all there, but it doesn't take the spotlight away from the vocals. It exists to accompany your music. Nothing more I need to say here, it's simply nice. So versus the Neon 4, the Radon 6 is definitely a step up in terms of overall presentation, apart from the bass. As mentioned earlier, if you're looking for a smoother yet fun presentation with a lot of bass but just enough of the details without it being in focus, then the Fur Audio Neon 4 would be the pick for you. The Radon 6 is more of a balanced type of signature with the emphasis on the higher frequencies, vocals, and the details in the track, and it's definitely something I personally pick between the two, as I like to have some details coming from my tracks. However, I wish there was a little bit more bass coming in from the deep end. That's where part 3 is coming, but between these two, the Radon 6 solidifies its place above its younger sibling with a price tag to show for it as well. For power, I'm going to sound like a broken record because all the Fur Audio IEMs take very little to power. On the 4.4mm termination, I'm at about 7 o'clock on the dial, maybe pushing to 8 o'clock max. To put in context, I was pushing Maestro SE to about 10 to 11 o'clock on the dial. So to sum it all up, it's a shame that this is a limited edition release with only 300 units available worldwide, and I'm grateful that I'm able to experience the Radon 6. While the Radon 6 presents something that can be enjoyed by many and it sets the bar for this type of presentations, like the Neon 4, it's missing that something special that would make me crave for it, especially when there's plenty of other options to choose from at this price point, and there's even some IEMs providing you with somewhat similar type of presentation at lower price points. But of course, with audio, you're always paying a little bit more for that little bit extra, depending on the IEMs. Not all IEMs work this way. It's definitely a step up from the Neon 4, but is it a step up above every other competitors? The fact I can't definitively answer that question with the Radon 6 speaks for itself. However, this is based on one man's experience, and I'm curious to know your thoughts. Would you be picking the Radon 6 over any other Statos-Fi level IEMs, or what IEMs do you think would be able to compete with the Radon 6 at this price or even lower? Comment below, let me know, and with that all said, thank you once again to Damien from the Australian Hi-Fi Tour and Fur Audio for this opportunity. We've got one last IEM to go from Fur Audio and it's gonna be an exciting one, so stay tuned. Until the next experience, take care and happy listening.